If you're a beginner, this tutorial will show you how to create this beautiful bridal robe. I thought to just put this tutorial out there for my starters. It is very easy to understand. My name is Naya John. I teach ladies how to make beautiful dresses. You will definitely need your silk fabric. You need a very soft tool. You will need your scissors and tape, obviously, and then any other thing you want to embellish your robe with. Once your fabric is ready, fold it into 2 equal parts, just like you see on the screen. After folding into 2 equal parts, the next thing you want to do is to fold it into 2 equal parts again. Trust me, just follow me, okay? Now once you fold it into 2 equal parts, the next thing you want to do is to start applying your measurement. Now please take note that you'll be placing your tape from the folded part of your fabric. So you see that area where we have folded? Yeah, we'll place our tape right there. For the neck width, that's the wideness of the neck, we'll go in by 3 inches. Mark 3 inches for the neck wideness, okay? Now for your shoulder, divide your shoulder by 2 and add extra 1 inch for the shoulder, okay? I've gone ahead to mark. Half of my shoulder is 8.5. I add 1 inch, that's 9.5. Now for the depth of my neck line, I'll be going in by 1 inch, just 1 inch, okay? And that's for the back. All right, we'll still work on the front piece. Just for now, connect the dots and your neckline is ready. Also connect from the neckline to your shoulder slope. Your shoulder slope should be 1 inch, okay? Now once you're done with that, the next thing you want to do is to indicate your bust line, your waistline, and your hip line. You want to be careful because you're working on a white fabric. That's why I'm not rolling across all my white fabric. My bust line is 11 inches. I'll indicate on the sides of the fabric 11 inches. Now my waistline is 17 inches. I'll indicate on the sides as well. Also do the same for your hip line. Now the next thing you want to do is to apply your circumference measurement. Now the bust circumference is 36 divided by 4, that will be 9. I'll add extra 3 inches and that will give me about like 12 inches. So I'll indicate 12 inches on my bust area. Now the next thing I want to do is move to the waistline. Now pay attention. On that waistline, I'll be using my hip measurement for the waistline. For the waistline, we'll be using our hip circumference. Hip is 40 divided by 4, that's 10, plus extra 3 inches we're adding to the measurement, that will be 13, and I mark 13. Now connect from that waistline to your bust line. The next thing we want to create is our armhole. Now from that your bust line, go in by 2 inches and just connect all the way to your shoulder slope. That's the easy way I use for my free hand, okay? So I'll be using this armhole measurement to cut my sleeve later on. Now for the hip area, my shoulder to my hip, that my hip line is 23, indicate on the side. Now for the circumference, simply extend what you have on the waist all the way to the hip. You can also add more inches or allowance to the hip area if you want. Now whatever you have on the hip as well, take it straight down to the full length of your robe. Now from the beginning of this tutorial, you should have marked out your garment length. If you have not done that, you can do that now. It's not late, okay? Now the next thing I want to do at this point is to go ahead and cut out the neckline, go ahead and cut out the armhole and the sides, and you have successfully drafted the front and back pieces. Once you're done, take one of the pieces you have and keep it aside. That will be your back piece. Now the one that will serve as the front piece is the one that you leave on your cutting table. Now fold it into 2 equal parts like you see on the screen. Make sure it is very, very equal. You can also secure the edges with pins so that they don't shift. Okay, take your tape rule, place it on the folded side of your front piece. Go in by 2 inches. Yes, you can see me marking 2 inches. Do exactly the same thing. Now after marking 2 inches right there, keep repeating the same thing until you have gotten to the hem of your garment. Then the next thing you want to do is to cut out. But before cutting out, make sure you have like a straight line, just like I have here. After cutting out, we'll be using that pieces we cut out to create a kimono band. Now once you're done cutting out, neatly fold this up and keep it aside, okay? Now the next one I want to do now is to cut the sleeve. Remember, we'll be using the measurement from the armhole to cut the sleeve. Now get your fabric, the one you'll be using for the sleeve. You're going to fold it in such a way that the lower part is wider than the upper part. It will be slightly wider because we are trying to create a bell sleeve. Now from the folded part of my sleeve, I'm going to mark going by 9 inches because the armhole wideness I have on my main dress is 9 inches. From that 9 inches I marked, I'll connect to the folded part of my fabric just like this. You notice the way I placed my tape. My 9 inches actually went downwards, not upwards. You get right? Now from that point, you're going to get your sleeve length. So the sleeve length for this particular silk fabric should be your shoulder to your wrist, which is 26 inches I used right here. Now the down part is already wider, like because of the way we folded it, right? We'll simply go ahead now and cut out. Now I made a mistake earlier. The wideness for my armhole is 8 inches. The extra 1 inch is for stitching. That's why I called it 9. Okay, now go ahead and cut out like this. This is a freehand method. If you need a detailed tutorial on how to cut your bell sleeve with pattern, just type link in the comment section and I'll send you the link. Now by the time you're done cutting, you open up and this is what you have. Okay, very easy, very easy. I just had to get my main garment and I was just checking if the sleeve fits, and obviously it does fit. So this is the pattern I use when I'm doing freehand method. Okay, now the next one I want to move is to creating the frills that will be on the sleeve and at the hem of the dress. I folded 2 yards of 2 fabric in 4 places. You can see I have 4 layers, right? And I started cutting on 7 inches interval, but there's a 7 inches interval. So I'll cut 7 inch, go cut another 7 inch, just like that. Why I folded into 4 is so that it will be faster for me because the 2 fabric, so we'll cut another 7 inches just like that, So the idea is to fold into 2 like this and then ruche or gather it to give us that full volume we want. If you want your frills to be longer, you can do, instead of 7 inches interval, you can do 10 inches interval. So when you fold it into 2, you would have 5 inches. You understand me, right? Now let's get into the sewing. Now get your back piece, place it right on the table. Get your front pieces, pin them up shoulder to shoulder, just like this. Make sure you use your pin. Now once you have pinned up shoulder to shoulder, the next thing you'll be to go and stitch the shoulder up. Stitch up with just half an inch. Okay, so you're done joining the shoulders. This is what you have. I used the French seam. You can do seam as well or use your normal stitch, then you can weave it later. Now once you're done, please keep this aside. Let's move straight to working on our sleeve. Now this is what we're trying to achieve with our sleeve. Okay, I added a chantilly net before adding the 2 nets, so let's quickly work on this. Now get your sleeve. Remember that what we initially cut is 26 inches. Now we'll be using the chantilly net and the 2 net to make it up to 30 inches because the full length for the sleeve is actually 30 inches. Now this is not a standard measurement. If your own sleeve length is 24, or just work with your measurements. Okay, now you can see how I'm ruffling the 2 net. I'll fold it into 2 and then I'll start gathering it while stitching on the sewing machine, just like this. What did I do? I'll fold my net into 2 and then I'll start gathering on the sewing machine. Next is to add my chantilly net at my sleeve. My chantilly net is 3 inches long, just 3 inches long. Okay, then the wideness is exactly what I have on my sleeve. I'll join using half an inch. Now once we join it like this, you take your 2 and then stitch on your chantilly net just like this, and that's how I was able to achieve my sleeve. my beautiful sleeve. Now, after stitching the tulle on the right side of your chantilly net, the next thing will be to trim out the excesses from the wrong side. I hope you saw what I did. Yes. Once you flip this to the right side, this is what you have. Okay, now your sleeve is ready. You can go ahead and stitch up the sides. Once you're done stitching the sides, your sleeve is basically ready. Look at that. Just look at that. Very neat, very silk, very demure. Your sleeve is very ready. Now back to our main garment. Now you need a kimono band. The length should be as long as your robe, from the hem to the neckline all the way to the other hem. Yes, and the wideness should be just 5 inches, so that when you fold it into 2, it will be 2.5. Please ignore how rough this band is. I actually took time to iron it because there was a lot of joining. Please go ahead and add your sleeve or fix your sleeve to your main robe. Create your belt, and this is what you would have. Your robe is very much ready. If you have any questions, see me in the comment section. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.